Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at some fake beggars who were caught red-handed. A lot of you guys might not notice, but there are people who pretend to be homeless and poor to get money. There's a possibility that you've passed a homeless person who literally has 6 figures in their bank account, but you wouldn't know that.
5th Avenue Beggar. If you're preying on unsuspecting rich people to catch with a begging scam, one of the best places to do it is 5th Avenue. 5th Avenue is a major road in Manhattan, New York. 5th Avenue is famous for its expensive luxury jewelry and clothing stores, and it's also a hub for the city's scammers.
It actually kind of irritates me that people will literally grow up to be fake homeless people. Imagine you see a homeless person, you want to help them out, and then it turns out they're not actually homeless, they're literally a millionaire. I guarantee you some of these homeless people will be making lots of money.
One of these scammers was this woman. At a first glance, she seems like a very vulnerable elderly woman on crutches. It seems like she has some kind of hunchback or disability, but one day a man on 5th Avenue was watching this woman. That's when something she did raised a red flag. She would panhandle with a cup, but whenever someone put money into this cup, she would empty it into a handbag. This made it seem like she was not getting any money.
And that is how she's adding up her fortune. It genuinely makes me so angry because whenever you look at this woman, you'd think she's an old woman who's obviously like in pain and needs money. But she's literally just putting all the money into her handbag. I wonder what happened in their life for them to turn to this. Like, why are they pretending to be homeless?
She would earn around 50 donations per hour, earning her anything from $50 to $500 per hour.
Imagine making $500 an hour. If she's doing that for like 6 hours a day, she's basically making a couple grand. It's genuinely crazy. And the thing is, these people think they're actually helping somebody out. That money could have went to an actual homeless person, but they gave it to a crooked old woman.
After seeing her empty her cup, some undercover journalists began tracking this woman. They waited until night and followed her. They saw her walk away and climb into a minivan, but when she climbed back out, the journalists were stunned. They saw a very young, healthy, put-together woman. She no longer had crutches and was walking normally.
Wait, so it literally is a young person? Please don't tell me they've literally dressed up like a witch from a Disney film to get money. I'm telling you right now, that is so evil. It's smart, but it's also so horrible.
And she also had a totally different, expensive outfit. She looked more suited to be shopping on 5th Avenue than begging on it. They continued following this woman, and the following day she went on a shopping spree with her friends, probably spending the ill-gotten donations from the previous day.
That's so disgusting, like I actually can't, that's horrible. I hope they go up and confront her. The thing is with beggars like that is that they'll just move to another city. The people who are donating to her might have seen her in the video, but they'll not remember that. They'll just look at her and think she's an old poor woman.
The next day she went back to work as a vulnerable disabled woman. The journalists confronted her, but the scammer ignored them.
We've been watching you the last few days, and you don't really need those crutches, do you? We saw you this morning walking perfectly fine.
It's unknown what this woman's doing now, but if you see her on 5th Avenue, then beware.
Exactly, like don't give her any of your money. And the thing is, from now on, people are going to look at actual homeless people and think that they're like her. There's a possibility that they might be, but there's also a possibility that they're actually homeless. Did she have to move to a different place? I want to know how much money she actually made from tricking people.
Fake disability. Naturally, you're much more likely to give money to a beggar if they're disabled. After all, this means they're more vulnerable and you feel sorry for them. Some beggars even give stories about how they are veterans who were injured on the battlefield. But it turns out not all of these disabilities are real. For example, this beggar in China.
I've seen this video and guys, get ready, your jaw is gonna hit the floor. What this man right here does is actually unforgivable. Like, he literally should be arrested and put into jail for it. I just can't get over the fact that somebody would do what he's about to do.
In the middle of a busy street, this guy was caught red-handed. He was lying on the ground with wheels to get about, and he was pretending to passers-by that he had lost both his legs. But that's when a passerby recognized the beggar.
Honestly, that must be a beggar's worst nightmare. Imagine you're scamming people and then somebody you know recognizes you. I'm telling you right now, if I seen one of my friends or somebody I knew from school pretended to be disabled on the street, I'd call them out.
He had been on the bus with the beggar just hours ago, and back then the beggar had been standing up normally. The man decided to expose the beggar on the street for everyone to see. It's a good thing he recognized the right person, because if he got the wrong guy, this would have been awkward.
Did you see that? Like, look at him right there. He's got his legs tucked under his shorts. If you would look at him, you'd literally think that he was like homeless and like has problems with his legs. I swear I've seen somebody like this in Belfast before. I haven't seen him in a long while, so maybe he moved to a different area. But like, he'd always be sat somewhere and his leg would be really floppy, and I'd always think, oh my god, he's got a broken leg. But now after watching this video, I know for a fact that he was faking it.
But it was the right guy, and this fake beggar's secret was exposed. The beggar had simply crossed his legs under his clothes. Another fake Chinese beggar moved around on a wooden skateboard. He was pretending he had no legs and no hands.
I'm sorry, but I just don't believe it now. Why would somebody like that be out in the street? Like, yes, there are people like him who are actually homeless, but because of this video, I'm gonna look at every single homeless person and think that they're faking it. And that's a sad reality. These people ruin it for actual homeless people who need the money.
But after this guy collects a lot of money, he stands up like normal. He even counts his money very fast with his working hands. This guy is a really bad person. Not only is he lying to all of these people, but he's also taking donations from real beggars with actual disability.
Exactly, like, it's literally disgusting. I hope these people get named and shamed. Do their families know that they're doing it? Like, imagine you literally disappear for 6 hours and you come home with a load of money. I'm telling you right now, if I'd done that, my mum would literally have called the police and accused me of drug dealing.
Something similar was caught on surveillance footage in an Arabic country. An entire family is walking around with a man who claims to be disabled. They had been collecting donations, but that's when a surveillance camera catches this man resting on the stairs. He then takes off his work clothes and walks around like normal.
So literally 20 minutes beforehand, he was pretending to be disabled, and then he just takes his outfit off and carries on with his day. Do you reckon his family are in with it as well? Like, his family definitely all scam people. It's so sad that people do this. Like, why don't you get a job? Why do you have to scam people?
Another beggar who was faking a disability was revealed in Pakistan. A journalist is tipped off that he's a fake. He goes to confront him and takes his walking sticks. At first, the man pretends to not know how to walk without his walking sticks. But eventually he gets tired of the journalist questioning him. He then stands up and walks away without even limping.
That is so embarrassing. Like, he's literally been caught red-handed. If I were him, I'd just continue to pretend I can't walk. Imagine if he'd done that to somebody who's actually disabled. I'd feel so bad for them.
Mercedes-Benz beggar. Some beggars who scam people are still quite poor. But as you're about to see, sometimes even the rich beg. One day, a pregnant woman was panhandling on the streets of San Francisco with her young son.
I think I've seen this in a Sniper Wolf video. Basically, this woman pretended to be pregnant and homeless, but she's actually really rich. I swear she also faked the pregnancy bump, which is even worse.
But was stunned when she walked away and got into a Mercedes-Benz. Someone posted this on social media, and that's when others came forward saying they saw her do the exact same thing.
It's bad enough whenever you do it to one person, but it's the fact that multiple people are coming forward now saying that they've witnessed her doing it. It's so crazy. Like, why would you do that? There's just so many things wrong with it, and it really does irritate me.
She became infamous in San Francisco, and her scam was revealed on the news. When a reporter confronted her about this, at first she said that the woman in the photo was not her.
Is this she right there begging on the street? That's not you.
Oh, so now she's gonna pretend that she doesn't speak English. It's literally her. Like, that is literally her. Do you want to know something? A TV organization need to make a program called Exposing Fake Homeless People. I would find that so interesting. Like, I'd literally sit there and watch it for hours. I want to see the people getting exposed.
But a facial recognition expert said it definitely was. This woman may still be out there. So if you see her panhandling in San Francisco, then beware.
Exactly. If you see her out in San Francisco, literally go up and steal her money and take the child while you're at it. Imagine what that child's gonna grow up thinking. He's gonna be like, Mummy, why do we used to stand out in the street for hours at a time? I bet you they're probably minted as well. Like, why are you doing it? Why?
Fake homeless. One day, someone noticed that a panhandler was actually scamming people. He would go out with a sign saying he was homeless and ask for money. But at the end of the day, when his work was done, he would go home to his house. The person who realized this tipped off a YouTuber named the Veil Family. And they did some incredibly impressive investigation work. They followed him and recorded him begging and then going back to his house.
Exactly, like he literally is meant to be homeless and he's got his own house. These people are so sloppy whenever it comes to like hiding their homes. Why would you purposely walk home? Like obviously they don't think they're being followed. But, like if I were them, I'd like trick people, like I just like disappear.
To make matters worse, this guy even drove a new car, and the house he lived in was fairly large. When the Vale family knocked on his door to confront him, the man was stunned. The man said he had no idea what the YouTuber and camera crew were talking about.
Yeah, you've got no idea what they're talking about whenever you were literally begging people for money. It's so sad because people give him money out of the good of their heart, and then he drives home in a brand new car to a massive house. There's literal people in America and all over the world who are struggling, who need the money, and he's literally ripping it from people's hands and like just spending it.
But the same man was caught on tape by the YouTubers before, and he was even wearing the same clothing, so it pretty much confirmed it was him. It's really sad that people actually do this, but good job to the Vale family for revealing this fake beggar.
Exactly, well done to the Vale family. I'm not gonna lie, I usually don't like family channels because I see it as a form of abuse and zero privacy for the children, but it's good that a family channel done something good for once. I just hope that that man loses every single thing he gets given. Imagine if people robbed him, like he kinda deserves it. I mean, karma has got a weird way of showing herself, so maybe it's gonna happen to him soon.
PhD Beggar. This beggar is not a malicious scammer. Instead, he was making something up because he was desperate and he had to. This man was an Indian school teacher who retired. Dinesh Dwivedi had a PhD. He also had a pension of 35,000 rupees per month. That's around $500. He also had a work salary as well, but he would also go on the street of Jaipur and beg for money. So if he already had money, then why was he begging?
Exactly, like he's already got money. He's literally like a school teacher. Imagine you walk outside and you see your school teacher begging for money. To be fair, I've seen a classroom assistant in another job before and I was shocked, like I just didn't expect to see them there. But it would be even worse if your teacher who taught you math is literally out in the street looking all dirty asking for money.
Well, it turned out his son was an addict. His son would steal his money and also injure Dwivedi as well. Dwivedi's money was drying up, so he had no choice but to fake an injury and beg on the street.
Oh no, I kind of feel bad for him now because he's literally getting abused and robbed by his son. Do you want to know what he needs to do? He needs to kick his son out. I'm just gonna assume that his son's never gonna come back to like a good path and he's always gonna go down the drug path. Sometimes you have to cut people off because if he's stealing your money for drugs and abusing you, that's not good. I feel bad for him, but then I also don't. Like, it's a weird situation.
Eventually, the media caught on to this and exposed him, but people still took pity on his situation. Locals moved him into a care home so he could be looked after. So, although he did lie, he was doing it for good reasons. And it's great people came together to help this old man in need.
Exactly, it is good that they all came together to make sure he was okay, but he still was taking people's money. Anyways, guys, that is the end of the video. That was some fake beggars who were caught red-handed. Moral of the story, if you see a homeless person, keep in the back of your mind that they could be fake. If I ever do see a homeless person, I'd usually give them food rather than money, because at the end of the day, if they're given water and something to eat, at least they've got something to survive on. I don't want to give them money because it could be going into a bank account or it could just be spent like drugs or like awful stuff. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, press that big red subscribe button, and yes, I will see you all on my next video.